Assalamu alaikum and welcome to all the student faculty at NED or any parts of the world. First of all, Assalamu alaikum, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hum welcome karte hain, inshallah. We have a great program today with a speaker who needs no introduction, but we will continue with our introduction part, inshallah. ठीक है? आप लोग सब उम्मीद है अच्छे होंगे, खैरियत से होंगे. So आज का टॉपिक है हमारा Bridging Human Intelligence with Artificial Intelligence, live question and answer. So this is going to be a session where all of you get to ask your questions, inshallah, and we'll start with a short introduction. इसके साथ हमारे साथ हैं Mr. Hussain, Microsoft से जो काम करते हैं और Microsoft के लिए AIs के लिए इंडस्ट्री में और अमेरिका से नीचे ताल्लुक है यहाँ पे. तो आज ये मीटिंग है, इंशाल्लाह. We'll start just a very brief bio. And Shadab is free to include anything pertinent to it, but he is a director of data and AI sales at Microsoft, bringing in more than 24 years of cross-industry technology leadership. He co-hosts the AI Files, ये इनका एक strategy and cloud computing or digital transformation के बारे में ये YouTube उनका channel है. So the AI Files, you probably want to take a look at it for more details and get more information there too. So जो हमारे साथ जो live students हैं, we welcome them all. And if you're listening to a recording, that's great too. सारी information जो है आपसे discuss करेंगे. Today's topic again is bridging human intelligence with artificial intelligence. और अब मैं थोड़ा सा तास आपको दूंगा कि if you could just briefly talk about the program and how it relates to AI जो कैंपस के ऊपर और कॉलेज में हमारे NED के ऊपर चल रहा है आजकल, और ताकि हमारे स्पीकर को भी थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड मालूम हो जाए and students or those who are listening as well, inshallah. ठीक है.
Thank you very much, Farah Saab. Basically, it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you in this session, all mentors, the students, especially our today's presenter, Mr. Shadab Hussain from Microsoft Company, USA. Our third campus, LEJ, and city campuses, students of NED Unity, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This mentorship program is your gateway to growth, confidence, and clarity. From career planning to communication and innovation, each session brings you one step closer to your goals. Show up, ask questions, and invest in yourself because your future is built by the choices you make today. So हमारे तमाम वो स्टूडेंट जो हमारे थर्ड कैंपस के हैं और वो लाइव सेशंस में आ रहे हैं, और उन तमाम स्टूडेंट्स को ये एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा नॉलेजेबल सेशन है. और हमारे जितने सेशंस हैं वो तमाम हमारी वेबसाइट पे हमारे स्टूडेंट्स ने देख लिए होंगे. एक हमारा ये पूरा कंप्लीट स्प्रिंग सेमेस्टर का शेड्यूल हमने अपनी वेबसाइट पे लॉन्च कर दिया है. मैं तमाम स्टूडेंट्स से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि प्लीज़ नोट डाउन करें तमाम डेट्स को, और एवरी सेशन इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन. और इसके अलावा हमारे पास जो सेशंस हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम बात करें फाइनल ईयर प्रोजेक्ट सेशंस हैं, उसमें स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो टेक पार्ट लें, क्योंकि वो भी वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, क्योंकि उसमें हमने इंडस्ट्री एंड एकेडमिया कोलैबोरेशन के साथ काम करने के लिए बड़ा हम मोटिवेट हैं इसमें कि स्टूडेंट्स आएँ और उसमें काम करें और अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स को इम्प्रूव करें, हमारे जो सॉफ्ट स्किल्स हैं उनको इम्प्रूव करें. तो थैंक यू वेरी मच मिस्टर फराज.
Let's begin. Mr. Shadab, you want to do a short intro to the topic, inshallah? Feel free if you would like to speak in English only or English Urdu or however you feel comfortable.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jazakallah everybody for the time. Prasab, thank you for the introduction, kind words. I have actually some set of slides also that I would actually be using. So let me make sure that they are presented. Okay. Okay, so while I'm working on, just a moment.
How about this? While you work on this, okay.
Okay. Are you all able to see that?
Give
Are you
me
all
a
able
sec.
to
Come
see
up
my
here.
slide?
There's always a lag behind. Not yet. Let me add.
Okay, not
Give me a second. I will allow it to permission. So it's gonna take a chance. Let's see the slide. Screen share. Give me a second.
so. While you're working on that one, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Yes, I am based out of New Jersey, and I'm the director of cloud and AI at Microsoft, which allows me a lot of opportunity to work with our customer, with our partners, and a lot of youngsters, right? So we also have, I try to work through my channel, the AI files. We try to educate people about how to use AI in your jobs, in your corporate. Particularly, we focus on, so 30 minutes a week, we focus on educating people about what's happening in the AI world, which is important because I feel that AI is going to have impact on everything, but especially in the corporate and enterprise sectors. And everybody needs to be aware of what is happening, and everybody needs to skill. AI is not a elite technology. AI is everybody's technology, and everybody can use that. Okay, so I think that's very important. Um, the slides are on. Like, um, let me make sure
So I
that.
think the screen share on your part is on. Yeah, so I
Okay,
see the screen share from your, and you could post the slides on that screen share, and then I'll show the screen. I'll share the screen. Okay.
okay,
Let's try
got it.
again.
I think, yeah. Okay. So while slide is going to come, today's topic is bridging human intelligence with AI, with creativity and better decision making. It is a very good topic because I think the word bridging is very important. Because it's AI is not here to entirely replace us, and it's not going to succeed if it is going to try to entirely replace us. But AI will succeed, and we will succeed if both of us work together. That's the future, and that's the only way it can work. For example, there is a company called Klarna. It's a Swedish company, and it provides, that buy now, pay later kind of services. So if you get some big purchase, and if you do not want to pay entirely right now, you can apply for kind of a micro loans for those, right? You have seen those kind of services, those offers. That's what Klarna does. And Klarna CEO is very flamboyant, and he talks about how they are using AI, etc. And what they said is that, oh, we are going to use AI, we will replace our entire, like 80%, 90% of the workforce handling the customer calls and customer service, etc. And guess what happened? Within 3 to 6 months, they say it's not working out well. Okay. Customers were not happy. They wanted to talk to actually a human. They were trying to actually get some problem solved. AI alone was not able to do that. And they had to revert it. Okay. They had to hire back those people that they let go. Okay. That is because what happens is you cannot blindly apply AI in everything. There are a lot of times where human plays an important role, particularly when it comes to the emotional intelligence. Depending on the customer's mood and queries and sentiments, you need to take action. Agar some customer is not very happy, AI sometimes may not sense it very well, right? But human can. And that's why it is very important to work together. So that's a good example of if you blindly try to apply AI on everything, it's not going to work. Now, let's talk about some more trends and concepts and what is going on in the market right now. First, let's try to understand what is an AI and what it can do. Mustafa Suleiman is one of a very influential AI researcher in the industry. He and another of his colleague, Demis Hasabi, they created what became DeepMind. And DeepMind was a revolutionary company. They created a lot of great technologies, okay, including the first program that kind of was beating humans at the chess, right? If you remember. And Google actually acquired it, I think, back in 2014 or something, right? So he's very influential. Then he has written a very good book called The Coming Wave. He also co-founded a company called Inflection AI, and almost 2 years ago, Microsoft hired him. So now he is the CEO of Microsoft AI, which includes a co-pilot, Bing, and other things. So a very influential person, and he has an amazing talk on the TED, which I would recommend all of you to watch. And it's about what is an AI anyway. So he talks about AI's ubiquity and skill set make it more than just a tool. It's not just a tool. It is basically a companion and more than companion. He's saying that AI is like a digital species. Okay. It is like you have to treat it like a species because it brings to the mind what nuclear fusion is to the energy, right? It creates that endless chain reaction. It's limitless, it's abundant, it's world changing, right? They will have a very high IQ, but they will also understand sometimes the emotion. They will support people, right? They will be kind, supportive, empathetic. Very good talk. Okay. So you have to understand AI has a lot of capability. It can be very creative. It can make very logical decision. Remember, it can work full time, right? Doesn't need a rest, doesn't need to sleep, doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to chit chat, right? It can be very productive. So sometimes it can be very confusing about, okay, how do I use it? What are the places in which I compete with AI, and what are the places in which I collaborate with AI? But just remember that this is what AI is basically. Now, let's move on and talk about what are the ways in which you use AI in a creative process. Sometimes when you are doing a creative process, and creative process could be anything, it could be basically a creative mind trying to do something with their podcast, or some artist trying to find some ideas, or the marketer in a enterprise trying to create a new campaign, etc., right? All of this is part of the creative. Or a product designer trying to think, what new products can I design, or what kind, how can I design this product, how can a new kind of car I can design. All of that is part of the creative, where something that doesn't exist now and you're trying to basically create. It can be very simple thing as well, just a new campaign or just a new ad, etc. And this is what AI can help you with. Like, for example, if you want to write a story, AI can help brainstorm plot twists. You can actually write pretty good. I have tried it as well, and you can try it. You can write some really good short stories or even full novel. It can give you a good plot. And again, this is an example of, if you just use an AI to just say, okay, go ahead, create a full novel, sometime it may lose the plot. Sometime it may not even know what it is doing, because AI has a tendency to lose the plot itself. It forgets what it did 5 minutes ago. Okay. Sometime it hallucinates. Sometime it will create entirely new story within the story. Nobody knows what is going on, right? It is very possible. But when the human and AI work together, some really good things can happen. Okay, new, altogether very interesting concept of movies may come out, new novels may come out, etc. And sometimes you can brainstorm the ideas. Okay, I'm thinking of this. Will that be a good idea? What do you think? How do you think? You can say that, you can tell AI that, okay, think like my readers, think like my audience, and tell me, will this be a good idea? So you can use that to brainstorm. You can, for example, you want to create a new invention, and AI can suggest new features. If let's say you're making a presentation, AI can help organize ideas. In fact, many times when I make, and I'm going to give you an example of how in practical terms, in reality, we are already doing this. Many times when I make presentations, I use AI to generate the images, to generate the even the text. In fact, I ask AI, tell me how you can help for in the creative process. So you can I brainstorm my ideas, right? It's a practical example of how it is working. Nowadays, anything that I want to do, whether I want to create a presentation or I want to create a document, honestly, I don't want to do it without AI because it is hard. It takes long time and I may still miss some of the concepts. So it's very important to use it as a tool, just like we use. Like PowerPoint is a tool, computer is a tool, AI is also just a tool, right? So it brings much better. When I'm working with AI, it will be better than what I alone can do or what AI alone can do. Okay. In fact, not just creative process, this applies in everything. There was a study done in which the doctors were provided chat gpt and they were said that okay, now look at all the patient's history and then recommend what the treatment options would be. Okay. And in the other study, same patient's history were provided to ChatGPT alone and said that okay, now suggest what should be the um, treatment options, etc. And the third scenario was where doctors were given all those patient histories and were asked to not use any tool other than what they have in normal access to. All these three scenarios were compared. At the end, it was found when doctors were given ChatGPT and doctors were doing without ChatGPT, the results were almost same. Now you may wonder what happened, why? Like so, AI was not useful at all, right? No, that's not a conclusion. Because in the third scenario, when ChatGPT alone was used, the results were actually better. It gave better recommendation. Now, again, the conclusion is not that, oh, AI did a better job than humans. See, AI will replace even doctors. That is also not a conclusion. Basically, what happens is it can work better when the human and AI work together. But humans have to accept it. Many times we resist using the tools because we feel we are better or we just hate it. There are many people nowadays who hate AI and they say that I don't want to use it. So what happened was that the tools that like ChatGPT, when it was given to doctors say, I know better. I don't need to use this. And they didn't use it. That's why the results were identical. That's why it is very important to look into the detail and find out what really happened. And that is what I would say that don't become like that, where you resist AI. It's not going to help. It is basically the both of them put together is where it's going to help. Okay. Now, let's talk about some example. Okay. A lot of things are happening, and I don't have all the news listed here, but I'll give you some example. Netflix is going all in on using AI in the entertainment industry. While on the other hand, many actors and writers, etc., are signing the petition that okay, we don't want AI to use our work. We don't want. Some of the director like James Cameron from Titanic movie or the Avatar or even Terminator, they in very limited fashion use it, but they are against using the AI. On the other hand, there are other movies which are already being made using the AI. Okay, you won't even know it. So it's a very divided industry and very divided world. Okay. But let's talk about some practical examples how we use AI. And I'm going to talk about a one, let's say, field which is marketing. Okay. Because in marketing, what happens is that you will be using a lot of creativity. Okay. And here are the ways in which these are the things that at Microsoft we see how AI is being used in AI, in marketing. When human and them working together, whether you're trying to create new ads, copywriting, right? Creating new kind of slogans and captions, etc. That's what is called copywriting, and you have to create it in multiple languages. AI becomes helpful for that. Human and AI are working together to do that. They're creating new ads, new shorts, new ideas, new storyboarding, new image generation are being done using AI. Okay, you can do all of that. You for look at the content creation, for example. You want to create new emails and you want to create new write-ups. You can do that using AI, right? This is all part of the creativity. Walmart has millions of items. Okay, and imagine if Walmart has to somebody has to manually write the description of all those items. How long will it take? Using AI, humans and AI working together, they're able to do it much faster. Walmart CEO said that if we had to do that entirely using the humans, we will have to hire 100 times bigger team, 100 times, which was not going to happen. But because by using AI and humans, we were doing to work together. So these are the some really powerful example of if you put them together, the great things can happen. Here, some more example of AI use cases in marketing, right? Um, for example, and this is all is happening today. This is I'm giving you an example of Microsoft own marketing department. They are using it. Okay, they are basically using to create synthetic audience persona. For example, you are creating a new campaign and now you want to test it. Okay, now what you're going to do, you will have to go to the user base, you have to do surveys, that takes long time. It takes sometimes months to get the results. But using AI, what they're doing is they are training the AI, okay, to behave like, let's say, developer, or behave like, let's say, supply chain analyst, and now judge this content according to that. And AI is able to give that kind of feedback, okay, which is basically saving a lot of time and money through that iteration. So you are creating AI as a, and this is the example of this, right? You are basically saying, asking that GitHub Copilot, which is one of the product at Microsoft, to do the coding. um, how does it impact your coding productivity? And this is an AI assuming the role of developer and providing the feedback, right? So this is one of the example. um, and it is giving a lot of detail, like, okay, why do you think that it is making good, you like it's just asking, provide the top 5 reasons why do you use these kind of tools, and AI is generating that
This is a
response,
business.
right? um, for example, let's say this next example, AI for accessible images. Here you see there is a short video and you will see how AI is being used.
This is a Business Insider article with a bar chart representing iPhone sales in the first weekend post release of each model. Presently, when a screen reader reads this image, users receive the following audio output. 201509114 underscore iPhone underscore launch underscore buy. Graphic. We will now look at the rich caption generated by the extension. The image is a graph showing the launch weekend sales of various iPhone models since 2008. Now I'll try interacting with the image by asking a question. On being asked that what was the iPhone 4 launch weekend sale, the service has returned the response as 1.7 million units.
Yeah. So this is a great example of how AI is helping make the content accessible. There are a lot of people who have, let's say, color blindness, or they cannot hear, right? Or they are even blind. So a lot of them are not able to use the content like regular people, right? Maybe 10% of the population or 20% of the population has one or other disorder and they're not able to use it. How do you reach out to them? How do you help them feel part of the mainstream, right? And this is where AI is helping. For example, this in this example, this image, if anybody, either a blind or a or hard to hear, or like somebody who cannot read properly or have some color blindness, etc., they won't be able to understand this image. And if you use a current existing tool in the browser, that's not going to help. It will read like underscore one underscore like a robot voice. Okay, nothing. But AI is able to understand this image, create a description here. See, this is all AI generated, And now this can be better understood. It can be read out, it can be better understood, and people can also understand a little bit more. They can ask questions and get some more detail out of it, right? Game changing. This was very hard to do. You have to understand also that a lot of work that AI is doing today is something not necessarily replacing humans' work. It is actually doing the work that humans were not able to do. Either it was too tough, too time taking, too expensive. It was not able to do that. And that is why last year, two of the Nobel Prizes went to the people in AI. One was given actually in chemistry to the Nobel Prize, right? No, three Nobel Prize winners. I think Demis Hassabis from Google, DeepMind, and there were two others. Why was it given? Because before AI, that was very hard thing to do. To discover the protein structure was a very hard thing to do. And because if you don't understand the structure of protein, it is hard to develop drugs and medicines. But with AI, they had something called AlphaFold, I think. That AlphaFold program was able to explain and simulate that entire protein structure. And using that, now you can create new drugs and medicine and treatments, which earlier was not possible. So in this case, is AI taking away human job? No. Even if you put thousands of people, they were still going to take years to do it, but at least AI is able to help, right? So there are all kind of examples. So we have to understand that, in many cases it can help do things which are not even possible today. Okay, this is another example. Ad copies. Okay, this is another creative example where you have to create a lot of ads, and then you have to create captions, slogans, etc. And in this case, AI will actually help a marketer use its creativity and give examples. Take a look at this video. So this is Microsoft example, and they're using some product and they're defining the requirement, and now they're going to actually generate the different ad copies. Okay, see, these are different headlines which will be used in the ads. These are different descriptions that you can generate, right? If again, human has to do it, and they have been doing it, but it will take a long time. With this, now the human can actually go and say, okay, let's me see, maybe this looks better, find information faster, or maybe I can make a little bit change and say that, okay, get information faster, right? So now your creative juices are flowing because now you're getting some help with the AI as well. So this is the kind of, see there, look at this. Reduce the headline and copy creation time from 3 hours to 3 minutes. This is a real example of how Microsoft is using internally in the Microsoft. Okay, so those are some of the examples of that. And this is, for example, this is an example of you're basically creating the new leads, marketing leads, etc., and then you're generating. So I'll not go into too much detail on this one, but these are some of the other examples. Here in this case, for example, you can identify the customer intent, because a lot of time, and I'll tell you by example, when I get a customer email, now you have to respond to them. I say reply, and now I have to first understand the email, make sure I'm not missing anything. Many times people miss what they're even doing. It happens a lot, and that irritates customer. Okay, that okay, I asked 3 questions, this guy only responded 2 questions. It's irritating. It is irritating to me. If I ask someone and they only respond, then I have to say, can you answer this also? Right? That creates a frustration. But AI will make sure that you're not missing anything. So if you use AI, and I use a copilot to help me make sure I'm not missing anything, create me a draft response, and then basically then I can actually make sure that okay, I'm giving an accurate response. Right here, detect the customer intent with email bots to increase seller productivity by 30%. Okay, 30% better chance to get a order from customer when I'm using the AI. That's what is happening. Okay. Um, you see, this is an example of different emails that has been created based on the customer intent. Like, for example, they are browsing my website, Microsoft website, and then AI can actually automatically create a message and send it out to them, and then I can understand and follow up, etc. Right? So let's move on to another survey that was done, and I wanted to show some highlight what is happening, like how this, now we have already seen that AI is definitely going to be useful. So what will happen in the corporate? Okay, so if you see this study is done by, this is a very big study, 31,000 people, Signal, and all the surveys taken by Microsoft. It is called Work Trend Index Report, and it is available for free. You can download it. This is a and this a new concept is coming called frontier firm. What is a frontier firm? Frontier firm is a kind of a company. They are using AI excessively. They are enabling their employees. They are putting the AI in the leadership segment. They're using the agents, and that is helping those companies. So almost like 5%, 10% of the companies are basically frontier firm. Okay, what they're doing, this is what they're doing. In the phase one, they are providing the AI to work together with humans. Okay. Every employee has an AI assistant that helps them work better and faster. What kind of AI assistant? Most likely Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, right? Or it could be GitHub Copilot for coding, or it could be Copilot for some, let's say, reporting, etc. Right? So some sort of an AI assistant. But these are AI assistant. Then in the second phase, they are providing human-led agents. So what is the difference between AI assistant and agents? Okay. So AI assistant, many times it is also referred as a chatbot, right? Like Copilot or ChatGPT, etc. They are chatbot. Basically, what is the difference between them and agent? The thing is, agent, when you give agent a certain task, it will finish it. If it cannot finish it, it will try to find the ways how to do it rather than telling you, sorry, I don't know how to do this. Because agent has agency, like because they are agent because they have autonomous intelligence and the tools available. Okay, so agents can finish certain tasks very well. They know how to do it. They have instruction. They have a memory. Okay, they have a memory. They have tools, like they can do the coding. They can analyze the data. They have been provided the tools. Okay, when they are being built, and they have been given a certain access. Go to this system. You can do this. You can log in there. Things like that. It could be anything. Agent could be anything, but agent is autonomous. That is the main difference thing. It has tools, it has memory, it is autonomous, it can finish that task. So for example, you can have an agent for, let's say, employee onboarding. What it does is, when a new employee is hired, give that name to the agent. It will create an email address. Okay, it will order a machine. It will create a form. It will make sure that this guy now has, or person has, a access to all the system. It will do all these things independently. Earlier a human has to do it, but now the human is providing the direction to the agent. Okay, this is the new person joining today, do all of this. That is the phase 2, human led agent. This is already happening. Okay, a lot of time it is happening, not in all the firms, not in all the countries, but it has started already happening. The third phase is human led, agent operated. Okay, humans are setting the direction and agents are running the entire business. Okay, so now not just doing the employee onboarding, you're saying that, okay, I need to build a team. Okay, basically a 5-member team. Now go. Now different agents will work together. Okay, we need to hire some people. Okay, they will create an, basically some agent will go do the recruitment, another agent will do the onboarding, some other agent will, right? Entire business is being run by the agents. That is what it is. Okay, so basically they are operating at par with the humans. Okay, that is what is the future. That is how it is looking like. This is already happening a lot. A lot of companies have this already enabled. This, many companies have it, not all. This is going to happen, okay, in the future. This is how the progress is happening. So, with that example, let me move on. Actually, the and why this is going to make a difference. Because one of the things is the capacity gap. Today, if you ask the leaders in the organization, 80% of global workers, they say that they don't have time or energy to do their work. Basically, they're working 9 to 5 or even 8 to 6, but still they don't have time and energy to do all their work. You always are feeling tired and you always still end up having pile of work. That is the problem. That is called capacity gap. And yet, 53% of leaders, they say, oh, productivity has to increase even more. How will that happen? How do you bridge this capacity gap? By AI is how you actually bridge the capacity gap. Otherwise, the leaders will continue to expect and workers will continue to get burden. So that is what it has. Employees are interrupted every 2 minutes by the emails or phone calls, etc. That's why they are not able to get a lot of things done because we have so many invasive things in our corporate life or even personal life. So that is why 82% of leaders are confident that they will use digital labor to expand workforce capacity. Okay, 71%. And when that happens, when the firms like frontier firms, basically, they provide this kind of model, how the employees react to it. 71% of employees in frontier firm, they say that they're thriving, they are happy, they like their work. And compared to only 37% of the worldwide workers who say that they actually thrive, they actually are growing in their work. Okay, so that's a difference between that frontier firm, how the frontier firm is using AI to even help employees and reduce their burden. Now, let's say what is that optimal balance? How much AI and how much humans? Okay, so employees, why the employees are turning to AI for its unique strength. Okay, 42% are turning to AI for 24 by 7 availability. I can't do things all the time. I need to sleep, I need to eat, I need a break. So what I'm doing, I'm going to do it when I end the work, I'm going to tell AI to do something. It will continue to work all night and then when I come back it is done. Right? So there is still a progress happening. 30% are going because it is faster. Okay, 28% is because of the ideas. So we talked about the lot of creativity, etc. That will happen. So that is how actually is AI helping all of that. Jamie Dimon, he is the CEO and chairman of JP Morgan Chase, a very influential person. A lot of you will know his name, of course, right? Um, he says, so in this age, he says soft skills like emotional intelligence and communication are as vital as AI eliminate roles. So the companies still need people who are able to make decisions, who are able to augment AI. Okay, because they that skill is something AI lacks. AI does not have that skill very well. You are still just remember one thing: companies cannot put all the AI bots only because ultimately their customers are not AI; they are humans, right? So I'm in the sales. Do I worry about my job? Do I feel no, not really, because I am working with humans at the other end as my customers. I understand humans, right? AI cannot replace me, but I do use AI. When I need some information, I almost always use the copilot, and it is making me faster. Earlier, my customer will ask me some technical question, and I have to now search information. Sometimes I find a link, and sometimes you know what happened when you give that link or you find that information, then you realize, okay, 3 months ago that has changed. Now that doesn't apply anymore. Oh, I got some old information. Now with using AI, I get all the links, all the information. I just do some validation. I make sure that it applies to customer scenario. And I feel that, okay, a customer is feeling normal now. I can share this information. If I feel that customer is not in a very happy mood, I'm not going to send an email. Okay. I'm going to set up a meeting. This is called emotional intelligence. Ability to read the room, ability to see the body language, right? Understand the body language, the emotion. This is what AI doesn't have, right? So this is an example. Information, yes, AI can give me, but decision I have to make. Okay, that's how it works. Now, are the new jobs emerging in this case? So let's talk about this. What are the new kind of jobs that Microsoft is talking about? For example, and this is some example of that, right? Like AI trainers, agent and data specialists, because AI uses data for the decision making. AI can do well because it can analyze, it can compare the options, it can analyze the pros and the cons, it can look at the history and say, suggest that history suggests do this, otherwise this might fail. All of this it can do faster because it is better computationally, right? But somebody has to prepare all the data. Somebody has to make sure that all of this is available for AI to use. That's why the agent and data specialists are coming. ROI analyst. By putting all this work in AI and investing, are we actually saving? Are we actually gaining new market or new revenue? How do you know that? You need to do a lot of ROI analysis. Okay. Otherwise, you will not be able to know where to invest. So a lot of these things are emerging. AI strategists are emerging. How do you use that AI in the marketing, finance, and customer support? These are the new roles that are emerging. And humans can do this better than the AI can do, right? Sometimes there is a lot of controversies. People will pass a statement that is not always true. As I said, some example like Klarna, that sometimes it is just a hype. Okay, look at this company. They wanted to get famous, so this is why they adopted. It doesn't mean that it's a reality, right? But these are the real ads. Okay, last 6 months we have seen these kind of ad from company called Artisan, and they say stop hiring humans. AI employees are here. What are they saying? Look at this one. Stop hiring humans. They're showing the spelling mistake. Basically, they're showing that okay, humans can make the spelling mistake. AI is not going to do that, right? Or artisans, which is basically AI employee, will not complain about work-life balance, right? These are all viral marketing campaigns. These are not necessarily mean that the AI is actually going to do it. So I would say stay positive. The world is going to change for sure. Okay, we all have to change, but we just need to understand what we need to change, where we don't need to worry about it, where we need to shift our focus and the energy. That's what is the success. Okay, that's how you will get the success. Now, coding, for example, this is a big question in mind. Coding, do I learn coding or not? What will happen to coding? Will AI take care? Look, again, you know some of the companies, they have been saying this. This is a picture of Gary Tan, president of CEO of Y Combinator. It's a famous venture capitalist incubation firm. They invest and incubate a lot of startups. Okay, a lot of startups. I think companies like Airbnb, Uber, etc., are some of the examples of it. OpenAI founder Sam Altman also used to be in the same position, president and CEO. And he says that 25% of the companies that they are grooming in winter, 95% of lines of code are LLM generated. He said that's not a typo. 95%. So what does that mean? So are there any jobs remaining for human? Look at this Anthropic CEO, okay, Dario Amodei. He says that we'll be there in 3 to 6 months where AI is writing 90% of code. Now, this is like few months older, almost a year older. Last month, Anthropic released a feature called Claude Cowork, okay, which helps coders to actually do some of the activities while doing the coding. They already have a product called Claude Code. And they say that the Claude Cowork, that tool itself, was 100% created by AI. What does that mean? Basically, the coding was done 100% by AI, but of course, there were people who were shaping it and testing it and doing all the process, etc. Right? There's a difference between coding and software engineering. Software engineering is wider. Coding is a part of the software engineering, right? So humans' roles are changing. Rather than writing every line by hand, every line of code by hand. Now they're actually doing more of a design, right? And the process, testing, making sure that, okay, the policies and the guardrails, the roles are evolving. Okay, this is an example of that. But it's still, everybody wants to know what roles and jobs are going to grow and decline. And here is a report that came out from World Economic Forum, which is basically future of job survey they did. And they say that, okay, these are the top fastest growing jobs between 2025 and 2030. And what is that? Big data specialists, fintech engineers, AI and machine learning specialists, software and application developer. What? We're just talking about that all the coding is being done by AI, and now you're talking about that, okay, these roles are still going to grow. Why? Why is that happening? And here is the reason for that. Because what happens is this. As I said, now let's say there was a team of 100 developers. With AI, probably only 10 developers, maybe 20 developers can do that entire job. True. But now the company has to spend less there. They can spend somewhere else. Moreover, earlier, only few companies could do certain things because they had the money, they were able to hire a team, and they were able to do the development. Smaller companies, they don't have as much money, they could not do it. Now, smaller companies can also do the same thing, right? Now, more people can actually float their own company, they can start their own company. So, what is happening is AI is making certain things cheaper and faster and better, which means more of that can be done. And that's where the opportunity is. So, what will happen is because more things can be done faster and cheaper, basically, more people will do it. And this is called Jevons paradox. Like it was observed when coal, like koila, when it became cheaper, when basically it became the engines that were using the coal, they became better in using the coal. So ideally your cost of using coal should decline because now you are using better, you are getting basically better mileage, right? But actually it increased. Your coal consumption increased rather than decreasing. Why? Because now more of that can be done. People were spending more, and that Jivan's paradox is still hold. AI got cheaper. In the last 2 years, the cost of using AI is 95% cheaper. So the amount of money that companies spending on AI should reduce. No, it is increasing. Why? Because it is cheaper. So now it's people are doing more and more. That's what is going to happen. That's what is Jevons paradox. Certain kind of roles will definitely reduce. For example, here are some of the jobs that are like fastest declining job: legal officials, legal secretaries, telemarketers, right? Data entry clerks. Those jobs will reduce because AI will do much better job. So there are jobs which AI is very good at automating them. Those are the jobs you need to avoid because they will be done much better by AI. Then there are jobs which I showed in the previous slide, which are augmentation, where AI and human will work together. And then there will be jobs which will completely new jobs that will emerge, which were not possible earlier. That will also happen. Okay. So these are different. These are different like studies. I'm not going to go into more in the detail, but let me just jump on some of the things. Like these are the top skills for 2025 according to LinkedIn, which people should be working on. Human strengths are in this: conflict mitigation, adaptability, process optimization, innovative thinking. This is the human strength. Okay. They also need to know AI, okay, which is directly related to AI. But all these four things are not related to AI, but these are the skills that humans do very well. Okay. Overall, these are the things that people should be spending the time to continue working. Build these skills, and then you'll be more, I would say, useful for an organization. In the last, I will tell you something, a message. Okay. A lot of time we think about just the jobs, and I know that it is important as you're building career, particularly for the young students. It is important, but we also think differently. Okay, because there are new opportunities which are going to happen. First of all, now there is something called 1% unicorn. The companies are saying that, basically all the leaders are saying that now it is going to be possible for the first time that you will have companies with 1% alone with $1 billion capitalization. It's called 1% unicorn. Just 1%. Using AI will be able to create new business of $1 billion company. Okay? Capitalization. Think of the opportunities. Don't just think of the jobs. Think of the entrepreneurship. What is possible? And if AI can do it, that means even a teenager will be able to do that. You don't need 20 years of coding experience. You don't need 20 years of designing experience. People can do it now. Look at also the growing jobs, right? AI is growing new roles, new industries altogether. Look into those areas. What is happening? For example, 4% of the GDP growth in US, GDP spend actually, was entirely because of the data centers for AI. There are a lot of new jobs. They don't all is just about coding. They all not just about machine learning engineering, but new roles, hardware related, construction related. So AI is going to actually lead to a lot more. There will be a lot of infrastructure built. Elon Musk is talking about, right? Why did he merge a SpaceX and XAI together? Why? Because they are going to build a data center in the space. There is a lot of work that is happening in robotics right now. Okay, because the AI is going beyond chatbot. They are becoming the world model, which understand the physics of the physical world, and they will be part of the robotics. There will be a lot of focus on the robotics, for example, right? So look at those industries which are going to grow because of the AI now. And finally, I will say there was a time when, like, even I'm from that generation where, okay, you take your job once and then you retire at the end. That's it. But the future is changing. It's all gig economy. Okay. You have a specific skill and then you deploy that skill. You don't need to be a 24, you don't need to be a 9 to 5 employee. Okay. Think of these skills. Okay. And then how do you use them? Learn and earn, basically. The jobs may not look like how they look today, but the earnings may be much better. So think of earnings, not just the jobs, right? I would say this is how the future is shaping, really. And I will end here to take any question.
Thank you, Mr. Shadab Hussain. Again, I appreciate great details, and really, this is lesson learned from all the years of experience that you have had in the industry. So we really appreciate it. और स्टूडेंट्स को भी है कि उनको मालूम हुआ होगा कि आप किस तरीके से सोच सकते हैं। बहुत सारी खबरें होती हैं, बहुत सारी मतलब शोशे होते हैं जो हम कहते हैं कि न्यूज़ आती है, लेकिन you're getting it from the experts who are actually working in the industry, or they could tell you what is real and what is not, right? So we have seen some
Yep.
advertising, marketing campaigns जो आपको बताती हैं कि इस तरीके से दुनिया चेंज हो जाएगी और इस तरीके से और कोई jobs नहीं रहेंगी, and we see the difference. So thank you again for enlightening us. I'm going to actually ask all of the mentors to be here, and then I will share with you some of the questions that we have received. So first, I want to give mentors a chance to join us here. So give me a second. Mumtaz Qureshi Saab, would you like to start with your question that you have had from the student? Or if you want to
Yes,
mention anything,
yes,
we'll take comment from the
yes. First
mentors
of
too.
all,
Yes.
yes. First of all, I'm very thankful to you, Mr. Shadab. Very great presentation, and very informative presentation for our students. And I want to just ask my question. So, how do we audit or certify AI systems? Is this possible?
Yes, it is. And very good question and very important question. So there are a lot of ways in which companies are addressing that. For example, at Microsoft, we have something called responsible AI framework. Okay, it has certain set of principles. Okay, that this is what AI should do. AI should have fairness. It should not have racial bias, things like that, right? And then what they do is they actually use that checklist and the principle to audit the system. That, okay, does it follow that? Similarly, Anthropic and OpenAI also has something like that. They call it Constitution AI. Okay, so they have defined that, okay, these are the different capabilities of the AI system, and can AI do this? Can AI not do this? And based on that, they put the rules. For example, they have put the rules that, okay, people under 18 years will not be allowed the access to the chatbot because they feel that it is not going to be safer. So they, when they are not able to control it, they put those kind of restrictions. So yes, there are a lot of work happening. You can audit it, you can put the guardrail, you can put the instruction in the agent, etc., and you can control it. There are many ways in which people are creating things, and it happened just last week. It's called something called Cloud Boat, and Moltbot, and etc., which are very risky. They don't have any rules. Somebody created it and hosted it, and you can download it and run it on your machine. Don't go into all those kind of things. Look into the AI, which are like certified, which reputed companies have created, and look at what kind of principles they follow. If they don't follow that, don't use them because it can be very risky.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Mr. Abbas Sajid Saab, please introduce yourself, and we could take any question or comment if you have. These are our great mentors who have been involved with the Lead the Nation and NED programs at the university and alumni association as well. So just wanted to share that with you. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good to be here. Actually, I'm at the other end of the spectrum. I usually live in Pakistan. Right now, I'm visiting New Jersey, enjoying the cold weather, enjoying it because I'm here only for a short while. This is beautiful, absolutely, for us. Thank you, Shadab sir, for that lovely presentation. That is exactly what we are trying to teach the students, the soft skills that they need. Engineering is taught very well at the NED University, but soft skills are lacking. And through these programs, we are trying to inculcate that sense of outreach to the students to acquire all the soft skills that they can. Just a question. I'm old school. I graduated back in 1982. So I would like to call myself old school, but still, with the changes in times and everything, I have started using AI in my daily routine, actually, I would like to say, because I have to make a lot of presentations and a lot of messages to different magazines and all. So it would have taken me a lot of time to organize all that without going through ChatGPT or Copilot or things like that. The one concern that I have is how authentic is the data that AI is gathering when I ask a question, because there's a lot of false information being put up on the net every day. And in Pakistan, you see this more and more every day. So how authentic and how do you to the information that ChatGPT or Copilot provides you and get to the real data that you actually want? I know it's important to ask the right questions and everything, but still, sometimes the data it puts up doesn't satisfy me, so I have to, investigate further. So that is a concern. So if you'd like to shed some light on that.
Yeah, that's a very good question because ultimately garbage in, garbage out, right? They call it. Um, so ultimately, these AI models have been trained on internet, and internet is full of everything. So you can't trust, right? Like even Wikipedia, we can't trust because people put in whatever they want, right? And that is the problem with AI as well. And that's why for example, when I'm using AI, I look into all its response. I never copy it directly. I look at the response, I click on the link from where it got it. My work is still faster. Okay. Earlier, what would take me 30 minutes, now I'm still doing it in 10 minutes. But I'm still taking extra 5 minutes to make sure that I'm validating that because you can still get it wrong. Sometimes the information can be outdated. But I will tell you one thing that in the last 2 years, I've seen that things are getting better, definitely better. They are putting a lot of rules in place that where basically what it does is they have a reasoning capability. So it takes something, then it reasons, it tries to find some other resources, and then it does. So the reasoning capabilities are good capabilities. It helps make it better, but you still have to do that. I cannot take 100%. And people who do that, they get basically a lot of like they get punished for that one. There are lawyers who actually took the ChatGPT output, took it to the court, and they were like the judge was very angry about that. They threw out the court, right? So you have to still do it.
Yeah, so that is one word of caution for the students as well. Whenever you're using AI or ChatGPT, Copilot, or whatever, be careful. Don't just go for the output that you receive, but do your own research.
Absolutely.
And Shadab
Always.
Sahab, thank you very much for this presentation today. Thank you. Much appreciated.
My honor.
Let's go to Mr. Emmer Assab. He's with us too. If you have any questions or concerns or comments.
Yeah, salam everyone, and thank you, Shadab Saab, for a very insightful presentation. My name is Ahmad Iqbal, and I'm a mechanical engineer by qualification. I've spent 37 years working across industry, from shop floor to boardrooms, and these days I'm doing some consulting and advisory work. One message which is very clear from your presentation is that don't be afraid of AI, but at the same time, don't be lazy in learning it. So it's very important that everyone should focus on learning the AI. And another message which is clear is that AI will not replace anyone, but people who use AI will replace those who don't use AI. So these are very clear messages which should be helpful for the students who are hearing this. One question that I have from you is that since we have started using a lot of AI and we at the same time share a lot of data and information with these platforms, so how is the confidentiality of information is maintained there? Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, another very good aspect because people are using it very sensitively. People are discussing their deepest secrets, deepest sentiments, which they don't even share with anybody. Okay, sometimes it can be even too dangerous. Just remember that AI, it is still a tool, it is still a chatbot. Some people go too much sentimental about it. Some people have even taken their lives because of that, because they think that it's their actual friend. Okay, so you know have some limits. Even though many companies, they currently say that they do not share these kind of information with anybody. They have put out the policy that they do not use your data to train, but you have to read the prints. Sometimes it says that okay, we will use your data to not just train. Sometimes they will even use the ads, okay, based on that. So it's very important to read those fine prints and make sure. Generally we ignore these kind of things, but if you really don't want your data, otherwise by default, I assume when I'm doing something, I assume that my data is being used. Okay, you have to assume that. Don't assume that it will not be used. Assume that it will be used. So if you don't want it to be used, you have to search for a setting. Make sure that it is actually not doing it. Read up about it because it's very, very important. Your deepest secrets, your personal, your sentiments, which you don't even share with your spouses probably, are going to be revealed, and the chatbot will know it. So yeah, it's something people have to be very careful about.
Thank you.
We have some questions from students, and so I will quick questions and quick responses. I would say maybe a minute, and we have about 3 or 4 questions, if that's okay with you.
Sure, I can do one more
Okay.
minute, but I need to drop after that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is one here from our student. If you could read and respond to it.
Why microphone on the other aspect like SDG? What is SDG actually in this context? I'm not sure.
We'll take
I'm
another
not
one
sure
then.
what
This
SDG.
one. Yeah, okay, no problem. So this is one. How does Microsoft differentiate its AI approach from competitors like Google, Amazon, or OpenAI?
Yeah. So see, Microsoft, particularly when you talk about Microsoft, it's an enterprise company. Microsoft is not a very consumer oriented company. Google is a consumer company. Remember, Google is actually known for its advertisement. So the approach Google takes is a little different. They have a lot of consumer data like YouTube, search data, etc. Right? So they are a bit more consumer focused. Microsoft is more enterprise focused, and that's why Microsoft, for example, provide a copyright commitment to the enterprise customer that whatever you use Microsoft Copilot, we will guarantee that you will not get sued. If you get sued, we will take care of the legal liability, right? Because it is thinking from an enterprise customer point of view. So that's one of the key difference between it and OpenAI. OpenAI, for example, very good because ChatGPT is more consumer focused. In that domain, they don't worry about this consumer use like litigation and law cases, etc. Right? Because their priority is different. They're talking about the privacy and all those kind of things. So that's the difference between Microsoft and some of the other companies in terms of the approach. Enterprise is a very sensitive thing because I can do whatever I want on ChatGPT. I cannot do everything what I want in the Copilot. Very different approach.
Okay. There's a quick one on, do local employers value my 4-year degree more than specialized online certifications from platforms like Coursera or deeplearning.ai? So this is about certification versus, or even involving a degree.
I would say that, it is important. The degrees are still important, very important, because it is not just about knowledge. It is about the thinking process, right? Engineering is not just about how the gears work, but how you approach a problem. It's an engineering mindset, right? So it is all about mindset. When you take an art degree, it is not about how well you draw, but what is your creative process, right? That is what is more important. So the degrees are still important, but you have to understand, does it also teach you the knowledge, right? How do you use AI in that particular field? Also importantly, that when you are learning these things, you should also look at how you can bring AI in that, whatever you're doing. When you're doing the engineering, can you use AI for helping you in the engineering drawing, for example, right? Or does it help you do some better modeling or simulation, things like that? So those practical learning, because employees are asking in the interviews, how do you use AI today? Tell me. No matter where you are, whether you are in job, whether you are a student, that's what they want to know, because they want to see that when this person joins my company, will they resist using AI or will they bring the usage of AI? That is the important priority. So use it and tell that how you use it. Even though if your computer, even if your teacher doesn't teach you, you should know how to use it. It's not very difficult nowadays. So that's what the expectation.
Okay, and this is the last one, and we all appreciate your time, and I know you're a busy person. So how do I stay updated with AI tools that change every few months while managing my current university workload? Again, this is coming from a student who's trying to balance studies, projects, and then also Coursera material or any updates on AI front.
I would say rely on your professors, institute, because they are scanning the world. They will tell you, that's one source. Secondly, that that's why, like, for example, I do my podcast, right? Because we are trying to educate people 30 minutes every week, so that you don't have to spend 5 hours. You can spend and then just take a capsule of learning about what is happening in the world. Third thing is that, however, you have to do things yourself if you really want to. So don't worry about the technology as such. Okay, it is not that okay only Chat GPT is important. There are many different versions. You can use any of them. Don't worry about the technology. Knowing how to use calculator is important. Not knowing how to use a Cisco calculator or a Fujitsu calculator. That's important.
Sure. And can I get your AI Files website so I could share this with students here?
Yes, it's basically on the YouTube. If you go, then you will find that link. I think it's youtube.com.
I'll just put that here.
Yeah.
On YouTube. Okay. So I'll share that with the students and our viewers who are here. And thank you again for your time. Jazakallah khair. We always say to our mentors and speakers who are here, they're always approaching this from a perspective of, changing lives, inspiring people, motivating people, and we will have, inshallah, the next generation of mentors and students who are actually attending at this point. So I'm going to share with them this information. Some of the students have asked for slides and videos. The video would be uploaded, and so you will have that information with you. Okay. Thank you again, and Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Pakistan Zindabad.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.